hard with a silver bullet.
I think they're plotting on me. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe cause I'm focused. No handout for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught some shots. Another piece of the puzzle connected dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If you don't walk it like a model for me, like I don't see her intentions all in my soul. At a time we were just friends with advice to land. Not special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't put my words, just back and issue that raw dough. Just back and issue that raw dough. Back and issue that raw dough. To the people that listen, to my people, they know that I do care. With their hands in the air, rocking side to side. Now my work, yeah, time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the back, label to change up swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the shit get. Wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock a table fade, swagger tailor-made. Polo collars and fly kicks. Just polo collars and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get wet. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shots.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, make the blind lead the blind, we all follow you.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. They act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, but I'm nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reference. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, back in the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange food, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, you treat you like Othello. L.A.R. be the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just imperial. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy beating the meanest, baddest mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me as strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crooked just ain't homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here, pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe 2 up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a cop, he last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone. And now she on welfare. Lost here, daddy can't live there. So we ain't there, and life ain't fair. But the food free, and the rent cheap. His roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, girl, why your ass out? They looking back saying, why, y'all ain't ever in the house? You got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got it in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking with Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. Mary could bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
What's good? What's good? What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving, right? Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Um, you see the clip. You see the, not the clip, but welcome. I was doing other shows today. What's good? So, in light of this situation with Keke Palmer, I've been listening to what people have been saying, and I guess because I'm in this space, people have a hard time believing her. Not necessarily, something could have went down, something couldn't have went down. If something went down, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not cool with that. But because we've seen this play out so many times before, it's like, are you really believable? And what I mean is, let me do this for a second. What I mean is, at the end of the day, let me see if I do that. Yeah, that's better. What I mean is, at the end of the day, we're dealing with a situation where you got a woman who brought this out at a convenient time. So you're going through a custody hearing, now you bring this up. And it's like, listen, if this stuff was going on, y'all shouldn't have been together. So what you're telling me is you're saying this guy's abusive and y'all been together, but he was abusive before you got pregnant by him. Then you got pregnant, and then he remained abusive, and then you got a baby, and then he remained abusive, and then you decided you wanted to be single, and then people looked at you sideways because of the stunt you pulled, but he was still abusive, but you never said he was abusive. And then, y'all break up and you're like, look, I want custody, and now he's abusive. So it's like, yo, I need you to make up your mind. Because now you're all over the place. Now the guy's like, bro, if you are abusive, why did you get her pregnant? So you mean to tell me y'all was getting into it like this and then you just kept having unprotected sex and you had a baby and you were still abusive? Like, and you still wanted to be there? And even personally, in my opinion, if he was really abusive, that whole Usher situation would have went a completely different way. Just in my opinion, it would have went a completely different way. But the reason why I asked the question is because this normally happens in custody battles. There's normally a restraining order, or he's violent, or his abusive thing comes up. Now, I haven't watched, from my understanding, it's a bunch of still pictures, so it's not actually a bunch of videos. So if it's a video of him doing that, he out of pocket. I don't know why they would still be together after that. That's the stupid part. But if it's a bunch of still shots and it comes out that, they were playing around or something in the house, and it looks worse than it is, then it's like, oh, this is a hustle. This is a hustle. Because I've seen stuff like that happen before, where somebody turns around after the fact and say this happened and that happened, and from the looks of it, you be like, yeah, that did happen, but you forget the context and you're like, oh, not how they said it though. So this kind of stuff makes me question stuff. The other reason I question stuff is because the parents come out like, yo, you how dare you do this to my daughter type of situation. I'm thinking to myself, if he was abusive then, prior to her getting pregnant, you telling me y'all just found this out when she put this on social media or sent it to TMZ for this custody thing? I don't know if that don't seem right. Cause that means you was getting abused and your family don't even know, but you claim to be with your family so much. That don't even make sense. So it's like I don't get it. Now look a step further. I just got to ask the question like, and I know his when his family members came out like this is manipulation, blah 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 blah. Well, from a male point of view, it looks bad. Like hey man, it looks bad. It looks like um, what was that football player? This is Zach Stacy, I want to say. He was tossing his girlfriend around the apartment. That was bad. That was bad. You know, and there you go. But in general, it's like, I think the times have changed as far as believing all women in all circumstances because when you see somebody do suspect stuff is not it's not looked at the same anymore. It's not looked at like, yo, this person is, that's a good person. This person did this, they did this. And you don't have to be a perfect angel to have people to have your back. But you do have to have some type of you shouldn't have an agenda when you do stuff. And what I'm saying is a lot of this stuff comes off as if it has an agenda. Like the timing just says agenda. So, and I've seen this before, and anybody who's ever been in a in a custody battle has seen this before. It's like, okay, let me catch your eyes and ears with this damaging thing right now, and then people get in their emotions. Judges get in their emotions when they see that type of stuff. Lawyers get in their emotions when they see that type of stuff. And and a lawyer could see that and be like, I quit. A judge could see that like I'm ruling. I already got the ruling. But by the time the full context comes out, it might be a year later, and the lawyer go, I got played, or the judge goes, well, I moved on to the next one, and that's the issue with the legal system in a sense because I definitely see how this can work in her favor legally, uh, but this is part of the fallout that people have with quote unquote baby mama drama because people do stuff like this and they bring up stuff and it's like, oh, okay. And then they get their way using this type of stuff. And then it comes out that it's not actually um, completely the way that they spun it in the beginning. And now you got to raise a kid with somebody that don't trust you because you'll do anything to get your way. And it's like, oh, okay, we done. So, and Keke, you know, I got to throw this in there. Not too long ago, she was like, she was liking women, and unfortunately, like women who have a I like women kind of thing going on with them, they could get out of pocket with men. They could really get out of pocket with men. So it's like, y'all could have got into it. Unfortunately for him, y'all they could have got into it because she comes off as the feminist, I'm gonna test your manhood kind of chick at times, especially with that kind of behavior. So it's like, yo, she might have came at you sideways and you answered like, yo, I'm a grown man, and now she been holding that in her back pocket ever since. And now if anything goes down, boom, here we go. I got you. And it's like, oh, this is what we doing. Understand. I understand now. But I'm not necessarily just talking about the court. I'm talking about people because the court can believe her. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's it, it's an interesting thing when a court believes a person, and then all of their family and friends go, okay, all right. Now, now we stuck with you on this. And I'm talking from experience, not doing what he's alleged doing, but you cut somebody out, they you get into a a parenting issue and somebody is out of pocket, they could push your buttons and you cuss them out, and they've been recording the whole conversation because that's what they've been looking for as evidence. So to me, it's like, oh, this comes off as you was playing, you was plotting, because there's no way you hold this stuff for this long if it's not part of a plan. So now you're looking at a person that's like, okay, every conversation we have is gonna be monitored. Every time we see each other is gonna be monitored. Everything we do is gonna be monitored because I see what you are now. I see how this goes now. I see that um, you could spin any kind of thing, any kind of conversation. Case in point, I'm a big boxing fan, boxing head. There used to be a rule that um, you don't let the public see sparring, right? A sparring session. And I remember when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, he put out a quick sparring session, a clip of him and Paulie Malignaggi. Like, I gave Paulie that work. And the interesting thing was, Paulie was like, put out the whole tape. Put out the whole tape. No, 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 no. Don't put out the part that just make you look good. Put out the whole tape. And that's where things get hairy, because when somebody says put out the whole tape, it's like, okay, let's see what this really is. Put some audio to it. Let's see what this really is. And now we're gonna have an issue. Right. Exactly. And we've seen it on social media enough to know that, you know what, this is where it starts getting interesting with guys like, oh, since I can't trust you, I know what I'm finna do. I know exactly what I'm about to do. You know, I'm gonna have the context of everything. I forgot was it Mike Pence, the politician that was never alone in the room with a woman, and people thought he was crazy in the beginning, and when the Me Too movement came out, they were like, oh, we get it now. You didn't want to be jammed up. And he like, you doggone right, I didn't want to be jammed up. So we got that whole thing going on, right? To me, I don't even know how to say this properly, but I'll wait and see what the actual thing is. But to me, man, it's just a play. You know, and I say this way, he could have actually roughed her up. And she could have been like, and she could have known that this is not gonna work, but I'm still here. I like it for whatever reason. But since we doing that, I'm gonna keep this as evidence just in case one day. You know, you shouldn't. Right? It's a one way street with that. You absolutely right on that, Senator. You're a guy. That's how they gonna say, because it's a because I've been in those situations where they tell you it's illegal to record somebody, but if she do it, it ain't illegal. It's like, what? Okay, whatever, man. But now we have these situations, and if you're the person who, like, at this point you would say who's actually quote unquote fit, it would be her, because right now, as far as social media and his spin, as far as the court's concerned, he's an abuser. He don't need the kid. Now, the issue with this is what? If it comes out that this ain't exactly what it comes off as, it's really not going to put a dent in Kiki's attempt to get the kid to get full custody of the kid. They just going, oh, she lied, she got caught up in a lie. Oh well, let's go back to square one. And this is the part that goes with the whole child support system and the family court system, is they let ladies get away with too much, because this could be a he did it thing, or this could be a juicy smooth event where you come to find out, it ain't exactly what you thought. And it's like, oh, okay. Now, for me, what's interesting about this whole thing, that
I don't understand is if you're the quote unquote breadwinner and you're a female and you're in an abusive relationship, you could, I mean, all roads say you could have been got rid of him. See, a lot of you ladies, like when women say that they've stayed in abusive relationships because the financial part. No, she couldn't say that. She couldn't say, "Oh well, what is that? He was financially abusive and he had his hands on all the money." So it's like, I couldn't leave. No, she I could have left. I could have got security to get him to leave. Blah blah blah. Like it doesn't make sense to be in a quote unquote abusive relationship and then have a kid in an abusive relationship and then play all these games in an abusive relationship. That don't even make sense to me. And the other thing is this: she's a she's famous. So if he was beating her or abusing her like she says, there's no police records whatsoever. Like what you telling me is this is going on, but nobody ever got arrested. Nobody ever got filed a charge on, but we like TMZ got this before the police got it. That's bothersome to me. That doesn't say um I'm trying to get how can I say? I'm trying to get justice. It comes off as I'm trying to get a win in court because you could have put this out. He would have been arrested. He would have been arrested. He'd be like, "Hey man, what is this? Oh no 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 no! Oh, yeah, lock him up. You wouldn't even had a relationship. You wouldn't even had a baby with him. None of this would ever happen." So it's like, hey, so it makes stuff look suspect. So do people believe it? I don't. Some do, some don't. You know, if I'm gonna say, I'm gonna personally say, you know, right now the picture says it looks bad, but at the same time, the rest of the evidence could say this is a setup. So I look at it like this is just a game. To me, this is just a game you playing in court. And right now, she's winning, but the same thing happened with that whole Usher situation. She felt like she was winning until the public got a hold and was like, "Nah, that's just foul." And then you had your people going this on one side, and you had your people going on the other side. And and even I've seen men and I've seen women go, "Hey man, this looks bad." And I've seen men and I've seen women go, "But her timing don't make this look like it's a genuine thing either." So it's like, hey, who believes her? It's hard to. It's hard to. Now, what I don't understand about stuff like this is, and when I said timing, I don't know when their court date is because that ain't my business. But if they're in court right now and say they're at the like in the middle, like they're about to have their hearing, say on Monday or Tuesday, this is definitely going to be this is going to be a slam dunk win for her if that's the case. But if they got a court date, say 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, it's like no, I'm gonna show y'all what actually happened, and this guy has a chance to actually defend against this in the court of law and have the evidence to prove it, or get the evidence subpoenaed. Oh, and that becomes an issue because I'm gonna tell you what people do. I said it earlier, like people put out something shocking to give a person a black eye in court. But when it's time to actually prove it, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to subpoena this and that, and we're going to get all this stuff to make sure it's exactly what you say it is. Then all of a sudden, people play these games. They play this disappearing act. I'm hard to catch. Lawyer can't answer the phone, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they don't have the rest of it. They don't know. They lost the whole tape. They deleted. All they got is this and that. And then it's like, oh, okay. This you didn't really want the actual truth to come out. You just wanted the shock value to get you over the top. This is where all the problems lie because it's the timing of the case. It's the timing of the hearing, rather, not the case, but the timing of the hearing. Because I promise you, if it's in 2 months, if the hearing is like in 2 or 3 months, and you don't hear this story get worse for him in the next 2 or 3 months, it's gonna be like, oh, it's some BS. Oh, it's some BS. You know. But um, TMZ broke the Chris Brown and Rihanna thing, which is interesting because it's like they had proof of what happened with you know Rihanna, but when people find out the whole story, it's like, oh. But at the time, it was like, hey, as a guy, you got to bite the bullet and take all of the charges that go with it. So Chris Brown was thrown under the bus. This guy ain't nowhere on a level of fame is neither one of them. But the question is, because TMZ did the same thing with Ray Rice. So if like TMZ could make and you're wrong. If you're a man and you're hitting a woman, you're wrong. I get it. That is, we are not even going to argue that. But if it's a situation where y'all both going at it, you know, yeah, I saw that cynical. Like if they going at it and it's like, uh, you know, like the Ray Rice thing. People, Ray Rice took all the brunt of that. But when you saw the tape, you're like, it was ugly that he hit her, but you could tell like she spit, she charged, he bang. But it's like if it's one of them situations, I don't think it's going to be seen in the same vein as how Ray Rice was seen because people, as far as punishment doling out, people was like, we're gonna do this punishment. We're gonna do this punishment. But as far as how the society is looking at it, I don't think society is looking at it the same way that they did back in the day. I just don't. Because in the interim, and people just hear me out when I say this, the Me Too movement and even the Amber Heard thing, with the culmination of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, made people look at believing women under all circumstances. It doesn't hold as much weight as it once did. All the ladies who got caught in a lie, all the ladies who did one, who were part of creating a bad situation and then playing victim, they kind of shifted the pendulum. I brought up Chris Brown a minute ago and Rihanna. Remember the girl that said when they called the police to his house, she tried to set him up and she tried to steal from him. And then the same thing with Tiger when the girl tried to set him up. Because of stuff like this, back to back to back happening all over the place, I don't know if it's gonna this ain't gonna be a slam dunk. This ain't gonna be a slam dunk. Even with that, because when a woman gets beat, that's on like Chad Wheeler. He just, got sentenced, but everybody saw that. The War Machine thing, everybody saw that. Like I said, the Ray Rice thing, you could see that. The Rihanna thing, you saw the pictures. With Keke, it's like it's just this out of the blue. That's problematic, man. That's very, very problematic. That's not how you should want to play this. And how can I say this? And with so many stories of women on social media who got away with lying on guys, it gives people a pause. Excuse me. You got women who said, oh yeah, I called DCFS or Child Protective Services on this guy and said he did all these kind of things, and they believed me. They went to the house, and then years later, she gets on a podcast and says that out loud, And I know it was viral at the moment. I'm pretty sure that caseworker had to look and go, oh, wow, I got played. You know, all the other stories similar to that you've seen on social media. So now people are like, me personally, I'm like, I don't know. You could be 100, she could be 100% right. Or she could be 50% right. Or she could be 0% right. It just don't make sense. Like I was listening to somebody today and it was like, it looked like she took some of his and he was trying to get it back, which brings us to that Quavo and Saweetie thing. When that was about to be an incident because of what was going on with him in the elevator, and she was trying to take his stuff and he was wrestling with her for his stuff. The video, people saw it like Quavo assaulted da. Then it's like, and then you see the video, it's like, nah, she's trying to take his stuff. And he fought back for it. I don't know what the heck just happened. Oh man, my camera just went out. That's interesting. Whatever. But anyway. So basically what went on in this whole situation is very simple. Let me see something. No, I'm not even gonna move that. I'm gonna start to shut it down because I don't know what the heck happened with this camera. I'll figure that out another time. But even the whole thing with Quavo and Saweetie, right? It started off rough, and then people said, we see what's going on. I know another guy on YouTube just got in trouble, for something similar. So, and that was on video. And all of this stuff is on video now. So now people got to see the whole context. But that's the way it goes. That, like, to me, I can't believe her and I can't believe him. I want to believe the since you're going to put this out on social media, I want to see the whole thing when it comes out, the whole thing in context, in full audio too, since you got it. From beginning to the end, whether y'all playing, whether y'all arguing, if y'all arguing after it's over, if y'all laughing after it's over, I want to see the whole thing. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah. And this is the problem. All this lying going on. But I ain't gonna keep it long, man. I'm gonna shut this thing down because I don't know how my camera stopped. I really don't. So I'm gonna get out of here for now, man, because I wasn't gonna stay on here all night anyways. So like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace.
All I ask.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I talk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. streets, and life is not a joke. Then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay. Now,
what's going on? Talk to me. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.